There's an ancient Hebrew saying that says, give honor where honor is due, and that is exactly what we're here to do tonight. Hemlock Board of Education, at their meeting just before entering, voted unanimously to name this theater the Larry Gariglo Theater, and we're excited here to have the family. We'd like to invite them up to say a few words.
Doesn't the new theater look great? Maybe another round of applause for the beautiful music from our nephew Joe on the guitar and the nice quartet that was also up here earlier. My name is Tom Gariglo. Thank you for making the time to come out this evening for the grand opening of the Larry Gariglo Theater. It means a lot to us, and I know it would have meant a lot to my dad as well. You know, Hemlock Public Schools experienced a tremendous transformation during my dad's leadership. I mean, he navigated through difficult challenges, and that resulted in remarkable growth for the school district. I mean, many of these challenges are still being fought today by educators across the state of Michigan and throughout other parts of the country. My dad would be proud that Hemlock High School is in the top 94th percentile for statewide education. And I know if he were still alive today, he would argue that while great things have happened and challenges will continue to persist, that the best is yet to come. So, for those of you who didn't have an opportunity to meet my father, he had a unique background of both public and private sector work experience. I think a skill set like that is fairly unique, and probably a significant reason why he was so successful. He understood the needs of the various groups that he would negotiate with, and more often than not, he would negotiate a mutually beneficial outcome. He was also a visionary with regard to information technology. He sold some of the earlier forms of computer technology at IBM, and he was also one of the first to foresee the personal computer transformation that started in the mid-1970s, and how it would ultimately transform not only our business and personal lives, but education as well. Our family is excited that this theater is being named the Larry Gariglo Theater, and we hope that it provides many years of enjoyments for the students of Hemlock Public Schools. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gary Gariglo, son of Larry, proud graduate, 1981. It's hard to believe, 35 years ago. My sister Dana works for the school. She always gets to talk, so now it's my turn. Gariglo, such a difficult name for many to say. Yet such a unique name for a unique man. Growing up, I was SOS, son of superintendent. That gave me insight into his job. My father grew up in Detroit and went to the Marines, served in the Korean War, and received money from the GI Bill for college. He valued education and was the first in his family to receive a college degree. He worked for IBM, but returned to college for his master's degree in education and began to work for the Saginaw Schools. While working for the Saginaw Schools, he wrote a book about using computers in the school system. From the book, The Computer as Central Control with Three Major Subsystems: Instructional, Research, and Managerial. Remember, in 1968, schools did not have computers. He wrote a grant, went to Washington, D.C., and was given the green light for millions of dollars. As you know, computer systems are now common in schools, and my dad would be very proud that Tom Lockwood is the Director of Technology for Hemlock Schools. Amazingly, Saginaw Schools voted not to accept the money. and my dad was disappointed and looked for a job outside of Saginaw and landed in Hemlock 1969, where he was superintendent for 20 years. 20 years. Most people will still comment today, that's a long time, especially at the same school. But people love my dad. He had a great administration too. Spadero, Redifer, Rick, Bowman, Rye, Bedford. School board had good people. Wardine, Madden, Manzoni, and so many others. Turner. He motivated people with good decisions and always found a way to get things done. Politics didn't matter. Growing up, I never heard my dad say or comment about one political party or another. It didn't matter. What was important was working with others to get things done. He truly cared for the people he worked with. Piotrowski, Basner, Ickes at the bus garage, he cared for them, and they cared for him in return. I guarantee you the buses ran under budget. Al Sanders, Dorothy Erskine, some more professionals. When my dad started, he worked in what is now called the historical building, which is the little white building. It's hard to believe the entire school administration was in that building. He modified every structure that was here, and he built the elementary school, the Ling Elementary School, the administration building, the bus garage, the tennis courts. They were all built new. All our teachers were wonderful, and thanks to Mrs. Thering, I have this talk prepared and stapled at the correct angle. I'm sorry, it's tough. The school was full of enthusiasm, and it was really humbling. Times were not easy. Millages were very hard to get past. My dad had to squeeze through some tough budgets. I remember classes in trailers, but we still had a wood shop, architecture, car and engine repair. We had sports, we had Wallace, Kunold, Agresta, including tennis, golf, skiing, stage band, marching band, and a great opportunity to learn. In my graduating class, there were so many students that went to Michigan Tech for engineering. It was called Hemlock House. This farming community and the millage increases, this is a farming community, and millage increases was an increase on those that owned property. My dad loved the farmers. I think he wanted to farm. He even had a tiny manure spreader just for a couple acres. So I spread some shit too. So my dad fought for change. He went to Lansing and changed the way that schools were funded, not just by property tax. At his funeral, we asked, who are all these people from Lansing? We didn't know them. He worked on what I believe was the passing of Proposal A, which helped bring change to this issue. Now a portion of funding for schools come from state tax. I know there have been some outstanding graduates from Hemlocks, the Kennys, farming, the Yackles of Merrill Tool, Humfords, large construction. I mentioned Bill Rockles only because I grew up on Rockles Road, but Bill is an example. He graduated magna cum laude of U of M in '86 with a BS in nuclear engineering, earned a doctorate degree with honors from George Mason University. He's just another student. Hemlock graduates have prospered. I'm always interested in how much diverse thinking comes from this town. I think it's a good thing. And my dad made time to have fun. He loved to fish. Not only did he fish, he was an early president of Trout Unlimited. Founded in Saginaw, this organization now has 150,000 members. And he tied his own fish flies, and he even made wooden river boats with tick fur. Same with hunting. He loved hunting. He loved to ski. He cut and split the wood to heat our house. He rebuilt our house and cottage. He was Lion Larry. He was an active member of St. Mary's Church. He didn't just attend, he participated. And he loved his neighbors. When I was 1, my mom and dad bought the house in the German Lutheran neighborhood by the parochial school of St. Peter's. We were Catholics, surrounded by Pankow, Lazel, Mordine, Berto, Oldenburg, Rose, Pretzer. But he worked hard for St. Pete's School, too. And after his funeral, the luncheon was hosted at St. Pete's School, and that was quite an honor. So my dad did live the American dream. He wasn't afraid to tackle tough problems head-on with respect and optimism. He gave it all to his family, community, and schools. He would have loved his grandkids here tonight. He was a great leader. I hope that this kind of leadership will continue in Hemlock. We wish Don Killingback the best in his leadership at the schools. How did he do it? I was fortunate to have a great dad. Thank you for recognizing him. I also have a great mom, and she deserves a big thing. Thank you, Hemlock, for what you have done for many people, including me. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Not sure how I'm going to do that one here. I can't see through my bifocals. Yeah, earlier today the signage was going up, and okay, Paris, you got to turn these down because I can't see a darn thing. Can't see anybody. Turn those off. Oh, there you go.
Oh, now we can't see you.
That's my girl. And they put the sign up, and I started crying. And when I did the picture, we didn't have any pictures of my dad. It was so weird, and the board office didn't have pictures of my dad. And so we went in search of pictures of my dad, and all I found was a little picture like this. It was taken at a wedding with my mom and dad in it, and it had all these people, including the bride, and my mom was kind of leaning into my dad, and it was a beautiful picture of both of them. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know what to do with this, but I took Adobe Photoshop, took out the bride, took out all the extra people, and left my dad, and I had to rebuild his shoulder because my mom was leaning into him. And I'm so happy with that picture because it looks, the people that knew my dad, it looks just like him. Don't you think? Yeah. So anyway, I was really happy with that picture. Fortunate to find something that was legit. Yeah, so I'm not good at this though, so they told me to keep it short because they knew I would never get through it like my brother Gary did. So growing up in this community, though, I was extremely proud of my dad. He liked to talk, and I don't know, I don't have any of that in me at all. But he seemed to have friends like everywhere. I mean, it didn't matter where we went. When we'd go to Frost Restaurant, we'd sit around the round table with everybody, and we'd visit and visit and visit. And then when we'd go to Rick's, which was raised, we would find people in the aisles, and we'd visit and visit. And then, and you can ask my kids, I've never done that. And then, at the elevator, we would go to the elevator, and this man from Detroit could talk about seeds and tractors forever. And we do. We laugh about the manure spreader all the time because my dad so badly wanted to be a farmer. And I don't think, you can ask my mom this, but it's like, he would pick the farmers' brains to find out like what kind of tractors were good or what needed to be done, to make himself look like he knew what he was doing in the farming community. So, but one thing about my dad is that he mastered the technique of making friends in this community. And he would be honored by all of you that are here and that helped to create this event. And so I would like to thank you along with our family. I'd like to thank the Killingbeck family. He even recruited his wife to do all of the stuff out in the student center. Randy Krieger, he was in here with a screwdriver after school making sure that the chairs were still where they needed to be. And Mike Walton and his crew, they were painting, varnishing, they were doing all kinds of things in here to make this happen. The maintenance and the custodial staff. Leela, the board office, the Board of Education, Marianne Ling, and Jean Schmidt for the decorations that they provided out there. Mr. Chase and his band students that were up here. Mary Jo in the front office. I know that you got recruited, Mary Jo. So thank you for all of the secretarial staff that was involved in having this become possible for our family. I am honored to be a part of this Hemlock School family. So thank you for coming and thank you for joining us this evening.
At this time, I'd like to invite the Board of Education and Sissy to join us up here.
All right, before we cut the ribbon, I would just like to say on behalf of Hemlock Public Schools, to Tom and to Gary, to Dana, and to Gigi, thank you for sharing Mary with us. Gigi, anything else? Oh, thank you.
Need to be taller. I just want to elaborate on what my children already said. We are very proud of the fact that Larry was part of this community, and he would be so proud and happy to think that you honored him so by naming this theater after him. He lived in the Detroit area, and when he was moving, he was so happy to become a member of this school system. I mean, he moved up north, and he thought he was on God's little acre by being where he was. So he was in the best place he could possibly be. And we just want to thank all of you for coming and being part of our lives and being such caring and good people all of our days. So to foster this legacy for Larry, we couldn't be more appreciative. And thank you so much.
this time, we're going to have Joe Lockwood, Larry's grandson, plays a musical selection. And also after the selection, you're welcome to join us in the Upper Student Center for refreshments. We have cookies and dessert and punch as well as coffee. Really thank you for being here tonight. It's been a privilege and honor to get to know the Larry Griglio family, and it's a privilege to have the theater named after him. What a wonderful man and a family. Thank you.
The podium.
Thank you.